Yeah, look at that. Look, we're both there and everything. He's there, look. There he is. There he is. I'm not messing around anymore with screens and screen sizes and stuff because we've had problems. I've had issues tonight. So I'm not going to lie. It's been a nightmare. It's been a minute since the last one of these, but it's been an absolute nightmare this evening. Didn't help when Mark couldn't hear me. And I was about to lose my shit completely to find out he'd not put his speakers on. Honestly, I swear to God. Shut up. No. So it's been a minute since we've done one of these, so thank you very much for coming in. Basically, I thought that there's been a lot of people that have been asking about stuff and having my face in reviews. I've been getting grief about not showing my pretty little face in various reviews, and so I thought we'll do a sort of a special Monday Night Live just for old time's sake, because it's a bit of a giggle, and then we'll go back to basics. So this will give you all a chance to see me have enough of me, and then you can go back to watching Mark's face because he's prettier than I am, or just carry on seeing my hands and my nice zoomy pictures. So there we go. Now we can't hear Mark. Mark, say something. You turned your mic off, didn't you?
No.
You're a bellend.
Thank you.
I can't believe I left my ponytail going on. Yes, sorry about the top knot. It's not a stylistic choice, funnily enough. It's a lockdown haircut, and no chances of being able to get it to change in the near future. But I mean, it's. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Look at this.
I don't.
Timothy, or what?
I'm not starting off like this.
Anyway, so nice to see you all. To be honest with you, yeah, fuck it. Just for old time's sake, let us know who you are, what you're vaping on, and where you are from. Where are you watching us from, apart from your living room? Tell us what part of the country or which country you're in. It's always good to see. It's nice to have a few hellos right to kick things off, and then we can get into the meat and taters of what we're doing, which at the minute I don't really know what that is, but we can do it. I have faith in us. I was also trying to use my posh camera just so I could really make Mark look really silly, but it wasn't working. So that's why it's a little bit ropey on the old video camera. Should have cleaned the lens as well. Didn't. But right, so shall we have a little look at the comments and see what people are saying? Let me just move that window over there. Cheers to you. I'm on the Iron Brew tonight in support of Scotch people.
You're drinking Iron Brew and I'm drinking a coffee. There's something well wrong here.
Yeah,
well wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Mark a little bit quiet, by the way? Let me just turn him up, see if that helps a wee bit. Say hello to the boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
There we go. That should do the trick. Hopefully there's no echo and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully I'm using the right microphone. It looks like I am. So, hello to everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. It's, as I say, a special Monday Night Live just for shits and giggles and old school sort of stuff. A little bit of a retro feel. Might talk about some retro vapes, because I know Mark's been using a few of the older ones and been searching out some older gear recently, and I've been using some. So we might have a chat about that. A little bit about what's on the market, what's coming on the market, and all that. Just as a bit of a heads up, as you all know, if you are have been around on this channel for some time, this is a zero drama zone. So if you start any, one of us will boot you out of the chat. And that'll be that. So no self-promotion, no drama, no talking about other reviewers. It's got nothing to do with us, what anybody else does. And so because of that, we're both quite happy keeping the fuck out of it. All right? Groovy. So let's have a little look and see where people are from, shall we? Gilliandria is from Fife.
Gillian.
Gillian. That That makes more sense. Mr. Spencer is in America. Lovely old job. We've got Jay's Vape Reviews. Is in the house as well. Nice to see you, Jay. Teus is in here from Sweden on an Avid mech tube. Look at that, look. Mark White is in a hotel in Eindhoven. Yes, he is at board. Hello from north of Germany, says Crack Dampft. For British Eyes Only, watching from the US in New Jersey, in the Build Cave, lovely old job. Kizmias from Bavaria, vaping on the Aspire Cloud Flask. I've not used one of those. I've seen them, but I've not actually used one yet. Dean is in Yorkshire, full of puddings. We've got what else have we got? We've got UK Vapesters close to Oxford. And we've got SR Coolman from Texas. I'm going to scroll down again now because I scrolled up for all of that lot and I think I've completely lost what's going on here. Adrian Mason, Bracknell, UK, Galaxy Juice, Banana in the Galaxy's Mouth to Lung, RDA on the Capo Squonk, lovely jobbly. You're peaking a bit actually, Vape and Biker. Thank you very much. I will turn myself down just a wee bit. How is that? David, thank you very much. Mr. Mottram is my top critique on my productions. Without David's,
is that the guy from the Chinese coil company?
that's the one.
The coilology guy, isn't it?
I feel that you might be hearing the plipping thing of the chat. Can you turn the sounds off when you have chat going? When you've popped out chat, I don't think you can you? Anyway, irrelevant. So what else we got going on? You're looking, you're peeking. There we go. Coventry on my sofa, to be precise, says Viv on the ha. There you go. First person with the ha. On Tropical Cactus. I can't believe I've missed someone that there was clearly many people that are saying they were on a Basium, and I've missed them. The Tropical Cactus Punch on a Colossal. Dead Rabbit on Invoke in Hamburg, Germany is Edwin. We've got that jumped. Seriously, Dean, take your game down. I did. They should be fine now. Shut up. We've got Fraser, Mar in Dundee, Sasha. Sasha's in, Mark. Look at that look.
That's my boss. That's my boss.
Huh?
That's my boss.
Yeah. He's in Zagreb, in Croatia. We've got near Oxford for the UK Vapester. I've said that one. Kuwait. Vaping on the DLC, FEV 4.5S and DLC Danny, 21700. Mark, we want you to grow a beard, says Lath. Absolutely.
I have. You just can't see it yet.
Ben says hi from Germany. We've got Kenobi from Cardiff, Panzer from New Zealand, and a bunch of other people. So if I didn't see it or if I didn't mention you, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not being an arse about that. It's just there's a lot there and I'm out of practice. So let's just get things going, shall we? Let's find out what's happening. So we'll start as every vape show starts with Mark. What are you vaping on?
When was the last time we did this?
Year and a half ago, at least.
So I was probably 2 stone lighter and didn't need glasses.
Same. I've got my specs on here, and apart from all the vape purchases and what have you, one of the most exciting things that I received last week was these little puppies for cleaning your glasses. They're honestly 12 of them for a £5 off Amazon. Yes please sir, go on. Oh, that's lovely. Brilliant ways of cleaning your specs then. Anyway, yes, it's been a while. So what are you doing? What are you vaping, old clocker?
What am I vaping on? Right, tonight, for your pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, I am vaping on. I'll tell the truth, I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
17 haars.
Right. No, one haar on a Wapari. Which is very, very nice with a dwarf direct lung drip tip. So that's very, very nice. It's very, very nice. I can't actually use it because the battery cap gets really, really hot. So, but anyway, it looks good in photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I post it on my Instagram with
You can cock off about that as well.
17,600 subscribers, they all see it.
Honestly, can someone in chat tell me how he, the fucking ogre from Scotland, how Shrek has got more followers on Instagram than I have? My grid is way prettier. What's that about? Anyway.
So it's all about the numbers, mate. It's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers. Aside from that, I'm also vaping, and I'm vaping on the. I'm now allowed to show off. This is the new Origin X.
Yeah.
This is the updated version, so it's now 60 watts instead of 40.
Mm-hmm.
We also have an RDTA on the top.
Yeah.
It also comes with. You can get a 510 adapter plate for it as well. So there's that, which I don't know if you'll see that in my potato cam, but look at the air holes in that.
Yeah, very goon-esque from the back in the day.
Holy loads of air, but it's actually just like the other one.
I tell you, I mean, I this is my second one of these. They sent me another one. They didn't send me the new one, mind you. I've got another one of these with the RBA, and it's actually, I think, for a really nice vape. Yes, it's 18650 as well, which makes life a lot easier rather than having to fanny around charging. Yes. And I think it's great. The RBA though is the smallest thing in the world. It's absolutely tiny.
Yes, totally agree.
Yeah,
totally agree. I am also vaping on. I've just put up a really, really bad, shitty review for this, meaning that it was badly recorded as usual. The Aston RTA, which is middle of the road.
Yeah,
it's neither shit nor brilliant, but it gives off a good vape, and there's no shame to it, really. One thing I didn't mention in the review was that the air holes are actually independent. A boy from another vape channel, I think he's a reviewer, pointed out it's a bit like the Typhoon GT4. It's got independent air holes, so that has the same. And I say I'm also vaping on a 21700 mech mod from Method Mods, and that's a Kennedy on top. And last but not least, I thought since it was a special occasion,
attaboy. Attaboy.
Now, I have to apologise for something.
Go on then.
It was raised in conversation that my making fun of the fact that the size may have impacted your sales in the States. And I really wanted to apologise for that here and now. I'm really sorry. The whole near and far away thing. I'm sorry if I've.
Well, I'm not saying that you're the reason they're discontinued, but you know they lost interest in making them fairly sharpish. I'll tell you that for nothing.
You just have to. I mean, there's the Har, and there's the Basium.
I think the Har's nearly as tall as the Basium, so that's fine. That's fine. Cool.
It'll never get old.
Have you got anything else going on there?
There's loads of. Sorry, I was about to say something. There's lots of stuff up here, but that's the more interesting. I also picked. We'll talk about it later. Old and new stuff and whatnot. But
yeah,
I've got a couple other bits and bobs, but that is much the gist of it. I suppose juice-wise, I'm vaping away with Strawberry Fields Eclipse. This stuff from Hand Sanitizer from Jedi's Punk.
Oh,
it's great for cleaning your drains. Fluffer, which is very nice. Nata and Regency Carmen.
Is that for when you really don't like your coils and you just want to punish them?
Possibly the best custard you can buy.
I've got to get my back, get my own bag for the Basium somehow.
That's me, mate. That's everything that I've got.
Fair enough. Good times. So I've got a bunch of stuff going on here as well.
Have you got anything from 2020, or is it all...
Yes, I have. Yes. We've got a Bastion with a Venom on top, though, because, you know, I'm posh like that. I'm all about the high end, as you know. Talking of high end, I've also got a condensation monster. I've got my Rev 4 Billabong with a funky zap wrap going on it.
I quite like that.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think that's kind of cool. I think that's pretty sweet, to be honest with you.
I think it's because the black edging actually blends. You know how the wrap doesn't actually cover the edge; it actually blends in with it.
Yeah, very much, because these stickers, they don't go, you know, all the way around the door. So if you could sort of hold it on the side, you'd see it, and that was really obvious with the white one. But also, you wrap the insides of it as well.
Oh,
which I think is really lovely. So you can get a nice little look going on with a little zap wrap, and that obviously I think they cost about 15 quid. But there is a discount code if you go and watch my video in the description if you want to get stuff from zap wraps. Hashtag not a sponsor. So that's that. I have been trying the Vaporesso Gen Nano as well, and they only have. I posted on my social media what if anyone knew asking if anyone knew what the coils were, because I was looking on their website and I couldn't find them. I couldn't find the material for love nor money. Turns out, after a couple of snarky comments, they are on there, but only the mouth to lung coils are Canthal. So the rest of them, like the mesh ones that I've got, are N80, and I can't vape N80. So I can't really test that properly. The mod itself is the lightest thing in the world, though. That is very light. And what kind of surprised me is when you look at their social, this kind of gradient seems to be really subtle and it looks really lovely. But there, it just looks like it was spray painted by a 4-year-old, which it might have been, to be fair.
Is it a lipo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, I'm kind of that's kind of. By the way, those of you in chat, I'm not ignoring you. We will be listening to you and seeing what you've got to say momentarily.
I'm ignoring you because I'm ignorant that way.
I've got a mix there, but I took out the Nautilus GT earlier on today so I could give it a clean. So
have you seen Jay's vape reviews? JJ, he shared a picture of that earlier on in a Zoom meeting today, a stab wood version of the mix.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, it looked gorgeous. It looked really nice.
It's going to have to be much bigger though, isn't it? For the thickness, because stab wood isn't going to... You're not going to be able to machine it that thinly. It's going to be...
I don't know.
Well, there you go. That's a thing. I have got another side-by-side mod review coming, and the problem that I think I might find with that is I put it somewhere safe because it's not where I thought it was. But it's a fully mechanical side-by-side, like proper, just copper strips going in it. And it's by Snowcap Mods, and it's awesome. And I've really put it somewhere safe.
You suck at this.
I tell you, out of practice, I keep tidying up. Like I did a video for my other channel the other day, and I tidied up everything, and I can't find anything now, so I've got to figure that one out. Anyway, go and join the Snowcap Mods. Oh, there it is. I did get it out. Peen, it's right in front of me, literally right there. What? Anyway, it's this. And this is actually, it's 3D printed, but it's a really, really nice print. Now, that should make you happy. Luckily, you don't have to use it because it's just a wrap for your batteries. But I don't know if you can be able to see, if I can tilt it. There we go. Fully mechanical inside there. And the cool thing about this, which I think is pretty sweet. Hang on. If I do some of this nonsense. Is it going to focus? So we've got fully mechanical copper inside there, but there's a little black piece that goes at the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that, in between the bottom contact, which goes all the way through and up. And that piece in the bottom there, you can pull that out because it retains the strip. So when you're pressing the button, obviously that's what makes the contact, so it adds the pressure there. But the other cool thing that it does is you can take it out and turn it round. Oops. Take it out and turn it round, and it will increase or decrease the amount of pressure you have to put on the switch, because it's got like a bendy thing on it. And you can turn the button to lock it so you can't fire it, which I mean, it's a full mech, hard-hitting beastie. So if you want something, and 21700. Is it 21700? Yes, it's 21700. I'm doubting everything. But
Just say that 3 times, mate. You're a reviewer, and if you say it 3 times, it's true.
yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. There's a 21700 Galeese in there, and it works really, really well. It's and here's the best thing: 3D
There's
printed
more.
mods, especially for something being sort of really kind of nice quality like that, tend to be quite pricey. This is $90, I think.
I'm quite surprised by
I
that.
think it's something like that. And he makes some lovely stuff. So if you haven't already, go and check out Snowcap Mods on Instagram and Facebook. There's a Facebook group for all of the stuff that he's doing, which is lovely.
Do you know what print is he? Is it an SLS or?
He's told
multi-jet?
me, and I know it's jolly expensive, but I can't remember.
Just make it up.
There's going to be a review for it anyway, which is going to have all of the details, and I'm not going to be quite so stressed and not be quite so mental about what's going on. So that'll be that. Nice. Good. Right. So I think that's covered everything that I've got on my desk here. I have been vaping this Glamato Budino. I think you'd really like this because it's very custardy. But this is from Future Labs, and they also do a banana milk and cereal, which sounds vile, but it actually tastes a little bit like a banana custard, and it's fucking gorgeous and surprisingly good on your coils as well. So that's lovely. And other than that, I made up 70ml of Twister Lolly from a Darkstar, a one-shot Darkstar bottle that I found in the back of my cupboard, which was at least 2 years old, and I thought I'll throw that together. And I've been vaping on that the last couple of days and really enjoying it.
Are you still making? What was the juice you used to make? You had your own one.
The Offended by Fenders one.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I haven't made any of that for ages. I really should do though. But I know. I've had messages that a few people have done that. So yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, so we've covered everything we need to do. A load of the newer mods. We've covered Zap Wraps. We've covered Snowcap mods. Cool. Now my face is I'm so much bigger. Hang on, can I make you zoom? No, I can't. Fuck. Nope. I was trying to figure out how we could do the
near and far away thing. No?
Yeah. If I have to do a crop. There we go. If we do that, look, we can go full screen. Bosh. Is that better? Let us know, ladies and gentlemen, because I feel that my face may have been a bit intrusive prior to that happening. So let me know if this is better or you prefer the big split screen. So comment down below. Okay, so is there anything you want to talk about before we talk about old shit?
Nah, just go for it.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
come prepared to these things. You know that by now.
Let's just answer a couple of questions if there are any. You have a look. I just saw that someone's asked what kind of battery chargers we use. And that's a very good question because I can't remember. It's stuck on the side of my thingy. I will find out though because I'm a professional. Hold on. It's a Galeese 6-bay. There you go. And it's not blown up yet, so that's nice. What about you? What charger are you using, old cocker?
The one that's covered in dust at the back of the shed. I used to have that. I had the dragon. Remember the fancy dragon one?
Mm-hmm.
They all sing, but yeah, I don't know. I got that. I got a couple off of Torchy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the bit. I mean, it'll only charge. It's a 8-bay. It only does it at 1.5 amp, which is fine for me.
Yeah.
I don't need anything fancy. It's just the simpler the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I'm using. But yeah, Torchy. Who's the other boy? Torchy and somebody will know. Somebody will know in chat.
Yeah, I can't
There's
remember.
another lad that always has the chargers.
I actually emailed Gleesy or Instagrammed them or did something to find out, because their four-way chargers had a bit of an issue, I think, recently, and I emailed them to ask if their 6 was the same and never got a reply. So I have it, because I'm a genius, as you know.
Really?
I have mine velcroed to the side of one of my drawer units underneath my desk. So I've got like all my chargers all velcroed to the side there, so I can just put my hand round and pick things up and look at. And nothing's blown up yet, which I'm very happy about.
Norbert. There we go.
Norbert, that's the one.
That's the other one. Yeah.
That's the one. Right. So, did you see anything? Has anyone said anything?
Ecolux. There's another one as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Ecolux is Norbert. Anyway. 2 amps is too much. Well, there's a technical discussion we could have.
One that we won't be having tonight.
I've not really seen any other questions as yet. It's just people taking the piss.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, so did anyone say whether they're just saying better the other way? Better? You look so small now. Did you used to vape Darkstar Cerberus? No, I used to vape Darkstar Athena all the time. Both me and the wife loved that one. How long will this last? Quite a while, I imagine. I've missed these Monday nights. Lovely, just realised it reminds me of the romantic. Yes, I said that to the wife yesterday, in fact, and I posted about it in the past. I want to dress up as the Mandarin. I never leave the house, so I've got no reason to, but I think I might just sit on the sofa on Halloween dressed as the Mandarin, Ben Kingsley, and that'll make me happy.
There's a good question from AT. As a low wattage vapor, 25 to 35 watts, restricted direct lung, I'm finding that simple round Cantle wire performs better than fancy wires. Or is it something wrong that I'm doing? No, is my answer.
Nothing wrong that you're doing, but I have a theory about this. And if Mr. Mottram is in the chat, I know he has very kind of strong feelings about it as well. I think that with thin wire, when it's like 26 gauge or thinner, 26, 28 gauge, and then it's Claptoned with like 38 or 40 gauge, I think that Clapton does absolutely nothing because it's just too thin. So essentially that wire then behaves in exactly the same way just normal round wire would. So I made a bunch of wire the other day. I made a whole, I think I made 12 feet of Clapton wire, but I made 6 foot of dual core Clapton wire with 32 on the outside, and some single coils with 32 and 36 independently, to see if there is actually any difference. And I've not had a strong enough testing yet. I normally use 34, 35, but there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I know Rev has just said it there, but something I always found interesting is, I mean, I use PC coils all the time.
Yeah.
And I have fused Claptons and I have round wire, and I always have the same build, and it's always 0.4 or 0.35.
Yeah.
But go along to Steam Engine and look at the heat flux, and that's a conversation I'm definitely not getting into.
Yeah, 100%.
But is it steamengine.org or something? I think it is. Just look for Steam Engine.
Yeah.
And it's actually rather interesting.
It is. I remember asking Twisted Misses what his opinion on heat flux was when he was building coils back in the day, and he was like, "What? Don't know what you're talking about." And I think it's just one of those things that people just build stuff and then they find what works for them and jobs are good. But I think there's a lot you can do with the numbers, but I genuinely think that once you get really thin on the Clapton wire, you're losing the benefit of the Clapton wire, because I think one of the things is it sort of holds more juice in the valleys, if you like. But take those valleys out of the equation, you may as well just have round wire, I think.
Yeah.
So, right, now then, I know there's more questions there. We'll come back to those, but let's just talk about some other vape stuff to start with. Old shit. So getting the old gear out again. I have been having a brilliant time going through some old gear because of the lack of new stuff that's been coming out of any interest. I've been, as my patrons will tell you, a lot of the time been digging out some old stuff that I've not used for a while to see how it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I've been loving it recently. And I know you've been buying some old stuff again. So what have you got that you've enjoyed? Or has there been anything that you've bought and you've thought, oh, this is horseshit?
I mean, I've got a few things. Well, I mean, the vast majority of mods that I keep or that are in the house, they're all over a couple of years old now anyway.
Yeah.
And some of my favourite gear is old. I mean, got like, custom classics and Rios and things like that I still love using. But stuff that I've been playing with, I bought myself that, which from CNC Mods. If that's Chris Bishop, no, it's not. This was a squonker that 2017 Vape Fest, and I always wanted to get one, and it just kept going past me. And the second-hand ones were always just a bit tatty, rough around the edges, shall we say. So I contacted the guys, and they actually made a new one for me. And I'll be selling it because it turns out it's a left-handed squonker and not a right-handed one.
Right.
All this time, and I never knew that. But anyway, it's actually still a good. I mean, it's tiny. The 31 Grammy.
Yeah.
Or is it 32?
Has that got one of those integral buttons that's kind of carved out of the thing, or is that a separate entity? Oh no, there it is. Okay.
It is a MOSFET, but to hold it in your hand and fire your thumb and squonk at the same time, it's a lefty.
Right.
You can't do it in one fluid motion with your right hand. Well,
not everybody has the size hands that you do. To be fair,
this is a fair point. Fair point. I think I showed you. This was sent on by a very, very nice man, and I have been playing with this on and off. This is an old the Juggernaut from back in the day. I think I reviewed this back in 2012. But it's a Jenny. And loving playing with that.
Yeah.
And also I got the Wapari that I bought off of Dan Muddett.
Now that's a nice mod. That was one of the original C frames, wasn't
it? Yeah, you could get into a long discussion with a lot of the old timers about that one. Who cloned who? And unfortunately, it's highlighted that how far we've come with things like battery connections and contacts and so on.
Yeah.
Because anything over 20 watts, and because of the contact design in the bottom, I mean, it's got a big. Oh, you'll see that. I mean, that's the contact at the bottom.
Oof.
And anything over 20 watts, and this just gets roasty toasty hot.
Yeah.
Which is but it was refinished. But I don't know if you remember Richard from Artisan.
No.
He was a modder. I mean, it was French polished and all the rest, silver internals. But yeah, so yeah, I love old stuff. But
is it worth trying to get that battery tube out and putting a more modern one in?
There's not actually a tube in it.
Oh, okay.
There's not a tube in it. I'll figure something out, but it's one of these things that I always wanted one, so I got one. But like I was saying, there's so many old mods that I have in the house that. But I mean, I still think there's lots of. I mean, how? Well, you discuss your old stuff first, and then we can discuss whether or not. Yeah, well, after you.
Well, a couple of the recents, I found a Velocity V2 again, and forgot one of the main things about that. Oh, microphone's in the shot. unprofessional. One of the main things about that I found was I'd forgotten how much I enjoy building on velocity posts. I think it's brilliant. I love it. Just so easy. So that was great. But I've had a bunch of stuff. I saw someone had mentioned about the E-Petite earlier on as well, and I got my one of those out again. Loving that. But recently, the last couple of days, I dug out my old Aspire Speeder mod, which I don't know if this was the last Vape Fest or even the one before that I went to. I took this with me and I just vaped constantly. It's one of these things with a massive side button. And it's got dings and scratches and nonsense going on all over it. But I think this is just a really, really comfortable mod, especially with kind of, slightly gammy hands from time to time. It's just really, really comfortable to use. So I've got the Blotto Mini sitting on top of there at the moment, and that can't make up its mind whether it wants to leak or not. But I've been vaping away on that the last few days. And then today, is it today or yesterday? I can't remember. The patron will tell me. That the D Pro Mini with, I think this is the beauty ring from the B2K. I'm not entirely sure. But D Pro Mini on top of the Luna before they started stamping it with Ultrona and all, with Asmodus and the other company name on it and all that sort of stuff. Really like the mod. Really, I loved it back then and I love it now. But the Speeder is, I think, over 3 years old now. This must be a similar sort of time frame. And the D Pro Mini, I haven't used any of mine for a while, and I think it's absolutely marvellous.
Do you remember the Aspire NX? Was it the NX?
Yeah, the little thing.
Boxy. Yeah, it was a tiny wee thing.
Yeah.
That was a cracking mod. That was really good.
I've got that in my drawer, and I chipped the paint on mine, so I stripped it and polished it, which is lovely. But now, 3 years later, it's all corroded and gotten nasty. So yeah. I don't know what to do about that.
I used to see folk with that squonker you've got. When they first came out, a lot of folk, when they were selling them cheap, a lot of folk were shaping them.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to get a second one just for that purpose, but this is one of the few ones with a block that doesn't really have any kind of, it doesn't have any solid resin pieces in it, and it's a nice colour. And I want more of this. I want more natural wood. I don't want unicorn puke and bright colours and all that sort of nonsense. I want proper wood in my mods. That's what excites me. Speaking of which, at every available opportunity, I dig out the Pylon from Limelight, which is still, I mean, this has seen better days now, but it's kind of looking aged. It's got sort of dark marks and stuff all over it, and the wood at the top around the 510 has swollen a little bit, so it's a little bit of a gap there. But I absolutely love it. I think this is brilliant, and I know Mr. Mottram loves this as well, and so I use it a lot just to wind him up.
I just wish that if they could remove the screws from the front of that, it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Just the screws.
But yeah, I've been enjoying a lot of the kind of the older gear recently. I haven't got anything else on the desk, but that's the sort of stuff that I've been really getting into and having a jolly good old time with. I haven't really found anything that I thought. Actually, no. Yesterday, I coiled up the Radius RDA from Vicious Ant, and when I first had it, and I may have even reviewed it, I think I might have thought that it had a really restricted airflow. Turns out now, I'm a grown boy. I think it's quite a lot of airflow. It's quite surprising the amount that's in there. Still a little bit turbulent, but it's quite surprising the amount that's there. So no, it's been nice to sort of have a play around. I've been playing around with some old tanks. I want to find out if I've still got a Goblin Mini kicking around. I saw one of those on Instagram today, I think, and I thought, fuck, that was a really good little tank. So
no, I don't think you ever tried it.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was really good. And I think they fucked it up on the V2. I can't remember. But it was an amazing little tank. So I'm hoping to to see if I've got one of those kicking. I'm sure I have. I've got boxes of stuff in the wardrobes.
Did you see when in the group when we were going through I was going through the moonshot phase? Because I missed the whole moonshot tank. I never got one.
Huh.
But I just got one in the past few months. Most enjoyable, great vape from it.
Yeah, a bit of a twat to build, but it was a good tank. And the guy that designed it was a really nice bloke as well.
The moonshot?
No, yeah, he was the same guy.
Did you do an interview with him?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. And I think he was either on the moonshot tank when I reviewed that, or it was on. He had a little single battery mod when I reviewed that. But one of those two of my reviews have got an interview with him.
Do you not find it strange? What I find strange is though that when you go back and use the old stuff, it's like you were saying that the airflow is different. I mean, I remember when I got the Narda and thinking that it was quite tight because at that moment in time I was vaping more open gear.
Yeah.
But now when I go to the Narda now, the Narda is actually more open than a lot of my other RDAs that I use.
Yeah.
So it's your whole perspective kind of.
It does. I'll tell you something about growing older though. I'm not saying that I am ancient because obviously it was your birthday recently, and you are ancient. But this is permanently on my desk now.
You're old.
Werner's originals are awesome. So I'm loving them. Supremo, there you go, Jay. Jay mentioned it there. I just caught that. That was the single battery one that I reviewed. Goblin Mini still available on EV cigarettes. Okay, cool. But no, that was a superb tank, and it looked so cute as well because it was a short and dumpy little thing with a little. I think it had a glass 510. I can't remember, or a clear plastic 510. But a really, really good tank. So that's something that I really want to. I think it was a dual. Was it a dual coil, a tiny dual? I can't remember. But I'm going to have to find that sorted out again. Absolutely. So what were you?
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, go on.
Was it the Magma?
Magma, yeah.
It was one of the first under air drippers, if I remember right, back in the day.
Yeah, that must have been 2013, maybe.
That was
the original one, because they brought a big one out, which was the original was ace, but the big one was a bit crap. Yeah. But no, there was a bunch of stuff like that, and so it's really enjoyable, and I think it's great if you are kind of wanting some new vape gear, and obviously there's nothing exciting being released at the minute. Trawl around some of the websites and see what they've got in their kind of they're getting shot of section, because you can often find a really great little deal. Because there was somewhere, and I think Russ in chat picked one up. I think it was Russ. I'm not sure, but the Velocity V2. I mean, I was surprised at the amount of air that has. That still has a lot of air, even by today's standards. And that was a 22mm. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, so there's a bunch of cool stuff. What were you going to say before I started talking about my old shit?
No, I was looking up the Basium. I suppose it could be considered an antique now as well, because it's over 2 years old in vaping terms. That's old. So,
yeah, I know, it's very upsetting.
I've just a quick question on the Basium. There's one thing that always bothered me. Is there any reason why you designed it so that when you squonk, it just? I mean, most squonk tubes are like that narrow.
Yeah.
The Basium's got like that diameter hose. It's just.
It's all about making things easier. You shouldn't have to fight with your tools, Mark. This isn't like the HAR. You haven't got to spend 4 months trying to figure it out. You can just pick it up and squonk away. It's the way forward.
Still should have put the 510 in the middle. Fuck you.
Can't fit my 50mm RDAs on it. Fuck.
How many 50mm RDAs have you got? None.
I remember distinctly the amount of people that were very upset that I chose a greener recycled cardboard for the packaging, and the amount of people that quite honestly thought that it would just break apart while it's on their shelf was what it worried me about the state of humanity. It really does scare me. But there you go. So
The Funkadelic fan, that is a Basium. It's a squonker that somebody did many moons ago.
yeah, and I know I was talking about Zap Wraps earlier, and still not a sponsor, but I wanted Dovpo to make a Stormtrooper white and black one like that, but they weren't interested in doing it. But that would this is a wrap that I got from Zap Wraps. I didn't put it on properly, so I've got a bit of a line going on there. But that doesn't that look the tits? That looks awesome. Stick a black RDA on there, and that looks fan-bloody-tastic. Yeah. But there you go. That's just me being slightly bitter because I wanted a white one and a single battery version. Anyway, what are they saying? Are they saying how good in there? Okay, so
good the har is. They're just saying how good the har is.
I doubt that very much. But talking about the har, obviously it's your first entry into the design and stuff. I did warn you that it was going to be quite a significant headache. How's it been?
It's not actually. It's not been a headache at all. I just tell everybody to PM Sasha. That's it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if they're asking me about another Atty. I tell them to PM Sasha. So I have no issues with it. No, it has literally been painless.
Yeah.
It has been painless. It's yeah. I mean, there are certain aspects that you take for granted, and you think to yourself, "This is so simple. Nobody could get that wrong." And then you put it into the hands of the users, and you realise that not everybody is made equally, and that
it's almost like figuring out someone's complaining about being out of squonk too easily, isn't it? Really.
Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. But no, I can't. It's been a blast. I'm not going to say anything nice about Van and Dell because I don't really like them that much. Croatians, and all that kind of stuff. They're very dodgy tracksuit wearing Adidas type people. But it's been a blast, and I did, when it went live, when it started getting into the hands of people, I regretted it and wished that I had never done it. But now, yeah, it's been great fun. It's been great fun.
Excellent. But, so you got the bug for it now, then?
I wouldn't do it, and it depends how the guys feel about it going down the line. I wouldn't go and work with anybody else.
Yeah.
If Van and Dell turned around and said it was great fun, but we're not going to do this anymore, then I'd go, thanks for the memories, and I would never do it again.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe, and from experience of working with other companies over the years, and knowing people that have worked with companies on their own devices, I don't think it would be as easy or as much fun.
No.
So
that is a tough thing, because I mean, you could contact a bunch of companies tomorrow and slap your name on something and make a bit of coin from it, but it's I think people wouldn't realise that it can be really hard work. It can be emotionally draining from all the hard work you put into it, but then once it's out into the world, especially for the first couple of months, it can be a proper nightmare and keeps you up at night and all sorts of nonsense. So it can be a real, it's a hell of a thing. It's a weird experience to go through. I haven't gone through anything like releasing a Basium I don't think in any other genre or industry that I've been in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the straight. I think, and if we had egos, if we were these kind of certain kind of people, type of people, when you've been doing this for as long as I have and you have and whatnot, there's the. I mean, I get the piss taken out of me. I mean, I have great banter with people. And the jokes are brilliant, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
But the only thing you really have at the end of the day is your kind of your name.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put that on something, if you've not been directly involved with it, if you don't have any kind of control over it,
yeah,
you're giving away the one thing that matters the most to you.
Yeah.
So,
and it's kind of like, I imagine that someone who's sort of new into reviewing, I can imagine that now that it's more accessible than ever to get your name on a product, because, you know, people are into that sort of thing these days. And I can imagine that that's super excitable. But I think one of the things that people don't necessarily realise is that if you're not just putting your name on something that's already made and you are kind of involved in that design process, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of toing and froing. But as a reviewer, or as anyone on YouTube or anything like that, you've got the potential to just get a bucket load of shit thrown at you every day. And it can be kind of quite challenging. But then when you've got a baby, when you've made something that you really believe in, you really hope other people do. And it's like with the Basium, I was like, well, it's what I wanted. I designed it from a mod that I wanted, as you know, because I sent you my the videos of my first designs of it, and I was really excited about it, and I lived with that excitement for, I don't know, 8 months or something daft like that. And it meant that when it came out, I just wanted people to love it. And when some people didn't, it's like kind of getting the troll comments, you know. You get so many lovely comments on YouTube, which are brilliant, but then you get a couple of real pricks that just want to wreck your day, and that kind of stays in your brain a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? It's harder to deal with. And so I think with anyone just getting into the vaping game, and I think they need to think about it, about putting their name on something, because it has to be something they truly believe in and are willing to put up with all of the bullshit that can come along with it, you know?
Yeah, it's Daryl, MT Essentials is written on the bottom. MT.
Mount Essentials.
Yeah. And Russ is just saying there's putting your name on something or helping develop something. There's a huge difference. There's
massive.
That's how I've been paying my mortgage for the past few years, is helping develop stuff. And there's no risk involved in it. Zero risk at all, because it's nothing, your name isn't on it. But yeah, it's a good point. And I love rabbits for some reason.
No.
I don't know. It's because it's just put I love rabbits, and it's going to be a reference to something, and it's just gone straight over my head, and he'll explain it at a later date. He's a lovely man. Who made me this? Do you like my look? It's the 70s again.
Yeah, I do like that. It did make me think that you are kind of reliving your youth. I remember when I was a youngster and I got these big fucking bracelets and things, and I thought, bless your cotton socks. Mind you, that would cover my entire arm.
It would. Just your arm.
I could wear it as a belt, I suppose.
No, you couldn't. You really couldn't wear it as a belt, mate. I'm sorry.
I keep trying to lose weight again, but it's too much like hard work. I'm too old and I can't be asked. It's like going into this the new stuff with the new channel that I've started that's not vaping. Starting in that you like that? That was smooth.
Transition was just.
But going into a new environment, I mean, I had to ask sort of a question today on one of the Discord, because I'm down with the kids. I hate it when old people say that. I'm down with the kids, but I'm on Discord now. I'm on Reddit now. I am hanging out with the youth. But I had to ask some sort of what could be classed as some basic questions, because I don't want to go into a new sort of environment with mechanical keyboards and stuff and just make an absolute prick of myself by describing something. And my thing was like custom. So like that's a custom keyboard in my mind, in as much as I bought the PCB and the frame for it, and then I chose the switches that I wanted on there, and then I chose the keycaps that I wanted on there and all that sort of stuff. So it's tuned into what I want it to be. Turns out that's not really custom. And that's that. Like in vaping, it's like, at what point, without going into it's almost like the high end label. Do you know what I mean? What makes something high end? Is it money? Is it lack of production? Is it this, that, and the other? And the custom side of things in the keyboard game is quite similar to that. And it's challenging, it's exciting, and it's fun. But because you've made all the pitfalls in the vaping channels, it's like if you went out and did a car channel of some kind. You would know a bit about the subject matter, but you're entering a completely different world when it comes to creating for that public viewing, and it's scary as fuck, but good.
I could do 10 reasons not to buy a BMW.
Is that still broken?
He's still broken.
Oops. I've had 4 BMs, and I think I only had a problem with one of them.
Yeah. They phoned me today and said, "Hello, Mr. Todd." They said, "Hello." They said, "Wait, you authorised us for an hour to investigate your car. We've been looking at it for an hour." They didn't say if they'd done anything. They said they'd been looking at it for an hour. We're going to need more time. We need authorisation for, say, another 2 hours' time. I went, "Really? So that's going to be another £320.
That's harsh. That's harsh. Right, there's a bunch of people talking about DNA 60s in the chat. I don't know why they're talking about DNA 60s. There might be a reason for it. But if you can find out, lovely old job. Because I'm thinking about making a mod. I started doing some sort of streams with patrons where we were going through making some stuff on Tinkercad to then print out and print the mod and all that sort of stuff. And I've got to get back to doing that. I've also got to fix my 3D printer because it's currently very broken. But my challenge has always been getting the board, once you've got it in a cradle, how you attach that onto the inside of the mod and still make it look nice.
Yeah.
But I think I've got the hang of the idea of that one now, so I'm going to go back to doing that. But is the DNA 60 still produced? Because there was talk of it stopping at one point, wasn't there?
Oh no, still going.
That's all right then.
Still going. It's strange. I mean, it's going on about the die. I mean, I have both boards and various mods and whatnot, but I don't use temp control in either. I use replay on the DNA 75C, which I quite enjoy. But I do notice that a lot of people tend to associate the die codes with more premium products.
Yeah.
It's a better mod if it's got die codes in it.
Yeah. I can't cope with die codes. I cannot cope with it. Keith Chrome to Vape was very kind and let me borrow his Danny, die codes Danny, because when I was doing for a whatever my vape show is called.
The 95%.
That's the one. Which I'm going to be doing an episode of at some point, but obviously COVID has kind of reduced what I was planning on doing on that. So, but when I was doing a look at loaded 21700 watts mods, I wanted a broad spectrum, and Keith was very kind because obviously he's got a great stock of them at great prices. I just couldn't get on with it. I could not fathom how to do it. I think my brain is so programmed with simple boards and DNA boards that even the SX chip in the pylon. I've got that in novice mode now because it's too hard. I just want to be able to pick it up and vape it. I don't want to fuck about it.
It's the guys are mentioning the star plats as well. That was a board I really like, and I've got a few mods still that I use the star plat. But I mean, Dean's just said the die codes is so German. I used to get a lot of flack for my opinion on the user interface in the die codes.
Yeah.
But for me, it's still. I know that if I use a die codes board only for a couple of days, then it becomes second nature and I can get through the menu.
Yeah.
But it's not intuitive, and I will always stand by that. I just do not think it's intuitive.
100%. Completely agree. And I think it's one of those things that if you bought a mod because you love the look of it and it happened to have a die codes board in it, you would then go, right, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make it work and understand it. And then you might like it. But wasn't the whole reason that it got really excitable kind of back in the day because it was using that NIFE wire or something like that? Isn't that the...
Yes, they had their own wire.
Yeah.
And all that. It's... Listen, if anybody says to, if I say I don't get on great with the die codes, I find it difficult, and you turn around to me and go, it's not that difficult, here, look at this, and they hand you a flowchart, you've lost. If you have to give somebody a flowchart to understand the mod, you're fucked. That's it. There's nothing.
It's a bloody nightmare. I remember because I got one, and I made one actually. I'm sure I did. Hold on, is it in this drawer? Is it in here? No.
Oh, is this your cotton wool one?
This is some quality engineering. This was a die codes mod that I made. Look at that for button placement. That's a little bit iffy, but the best bit.
Years ago.
Yeah. Oh no, I did actually stick it for the longest time. That board was held in by Muji being pressed up against the battery thingamajig. and it's actually there. But no, I mean, I don't even know if it still works, but the chance of me finding out, pretty minimal, to be fair. But I really like these little boxes from ModMaker. Rick made these, and they're fantastic little things. But I just haven't got the patience. And I can't stand 510s that are sitting above stuff anymore. I was speaking to a modder recently that makes blanks and also makes kits and stuff, and he doesn't like pre-seat the 510s, so he leaves that whilst it's a kit, so it looks like a mod. You just got to put the stuff in it. You've got to sort of drill down your own 510 indent, and no, that's no good for me, because I'd get very excited about having a very nice bloody resin and wood blank, well, mod, naked mod, and then utterly shag it up, without a doubt, 100%. I've got some amazing drill jobs. I don't think I can. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's off in one now.
This is the one that will really take your breath away with being superb. When I first got Yeehee's SX, one of the early SX boards, huh?
350 or the 300?
Might be the 300 because this is dual
Was
battery
that
mod.
a square screen?
No, the first one after that, the first oblong one.
The 350 with the character that sounds like Jai or G.
Yes, that's the one. So I was going to a vape jam in London, and I had to get this mod finished so I could take it to jam. Look at that for drilling of holes. What? That's where you want your switches and your screen to look like, isn't it? What? That is just some quality workmanship right there. And that is why I don't make more mods. Look at that, it's got a plume sticker on it. Look at that. So yeah, that's back in the day. I'd like to see more people making mods. I'd like to see more mod making companies like Stealth Vape, like ModMaker, and like more produce kits, so you can have like this box, but with a pre-drilled 510 and pre-drilled holes in it. Do you know what I mean?
In fairness, I do think Rob was doing that in Stealth Vape.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've been moaning it. I moaned at Rick for many years about doing it, and he said he was going to do it. In fact, the last time he was on the Home Show, I'm pretty sure he said he was going to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm almost positive Rob does it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll have to have a look. But yeah, I mean, that's something. No, I think Rob just does it for the lipos, for the big boxes.
For his own mod.
Yeah.
Or his own, yeah. It's,
Yeah.
I know Jay's got one. He made one. I forget the name of it now. Bugger.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's. I'd like to see more of that. That would be something that I think would be a good injection of kind of interest, I think, in vaping. If you could have everything from little metal boxes like this through to sort of some stabilized things that you can just put together, tinker about, might cost only kind of 50 quid cheaper than buying, 150 quid mod, but you get the pleasure of putting it together, and it's brilliant to do things like that.
I mean, there is. I still see. I mean, I'm still in some of the groups where you see, people still making mods and making really, really nice ones, and you're still getting people, designing and making the 3D printed stuff and so on and so forth. But I don't see. Remember when Rick's 510 and whatnot?
Yeah.
It kind of exploded at that point.
Yeah.
And everybody was having a go. I don't see it at that level now. And I don't know if it's just because good vape gear is so cheap now. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
wow. Talking about good vape gear. Look at that for a squonker. What?
Oh, I've seen that for ages.
See that's still got some OG juice in there. That I made and I was incredibly excited for. And then found out, because the wife picked me up this wooden box, and I thought, that's lovely, that. And then, not long after I'd made it, found out that it was actually a purse. There's some quality workmanship going on in there again. Look at that. Look, what?
You're just going to stop showing that stuff because it's not helping.
Right, I'm going to put that away now. So,
Dean's just said the mushroom mod days. Holy shit! Yeah, remember them?
yeah.
Yeah, mushroom mods. And just to get a rep, the kits would stimulate some growth in the hobbyist side, and hopefully they grow into our next mod makers. You nailed it, 100% nailed it.
100%. I mean, I think it's great. We've got a lot more now. I think the industry is doing well when it's got some people like Renato from RSS getting involved and making some nice designs. Really excited to see that Hero when that comes out. But I think we need more of that. I've said for literally years we need more ergonomic mods. We've seen just boxes with a screen in it for many years now, and there's some mods now that still look like the Sigeli fucking whatever it was, 100 watt thingy. And we need to see more of that. So that's something that I certainly hope is going to see more of. Billy Joey says, where's the Ether RTA? I haven't got one yet. I believe one's coming. Have you got one yet?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Have you? You haven't reviewed it yet, have you?
No. I've put a couple of builds through it already, though. It's all right. It's all right. It's surprisingly it's nothing. It's nothing new at all. Nothing new at all. But it's well screwed together. I'll give them that. It's well screwed together.
Yeah.
I did have an issue with the inserts, but I've almost rectified that, and the guys have been really helpful. I must. Brian, is it? Brian?
Yes. Yeah. Vape's fine. Yeah.
He's been sound as a pound. It's not a bad look. It's not what. It's a very loose mouth to lung.
Yeah.
I think it is. But yeah, I still find it really strange because you got Bogan, Suicide Mods, Vapor Clouds doing a mouth to lung tank. Well,
Bogan does like his mouth to lung from time to time. He's not always a mad cloud blower, but I feel that back in the day I was known for my big hairy clouds, and You know, I've always liked a little tight one from time to time. But now it's nice because we're swapping. Because now you are a big old cloudy twat. So,
No.
go on. Is that mouth to lung in that har that you're now about to suck on?
The har is a very restricted direct lung.
Is it though? Is it no clouds going on? Is it?
No, unless you're a Slav, then, well, yeah, you can vape that. 45 watts if you're Sasha. You get some serious cloudage out of it, but it's a restricted direct lung. But no, I mean, I do enjoy a bit of cloud.
Yeah. Because you get more flavour, don't you? Because there's more vapour.
Wrong. Just.
Now you've said it. I know you've said it. You know it. You know that's true.
You're just wrong. It's wrong. Everybody knows that the smaller the chamber, the higher the resistance, the better the flavour. I do actually disagree. I disagree with that now. I do.
I think, to be fair, I think it can come through a little bit more on some juices.
Yeah, it depends on the juice. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to me, it's always made logical sense that if vapor carries flavour and you've got more of that vapour in your mouth hole, you're going to taste more of the flavour.
Yeah, that's the problem. You've got juice going in your mouth hole. That's the thing.
I'll give you some lessons on wicking for clouds, mate. It'll be fine.
Crackling and spitting, and you're inhaling like vapor, but then you're also drinking about 2 ml of it at the same time.
Stick with me, fella. I'll show you how to build them properly.
Look, we can get you really rile folk up in chat with this, can't you? we disagreed about this for years.
Yeah.
Years.
There's many things. What was it recently that there was a disagreement on, and you went, oh, and I've ripped the piss out of you for. I can't remember what it is.
Everything. Everything.
Right. So it's 22 minutes past 8. So I'm going to give people the chance now to, if you've got questions for either of us, type them down in the chat, and we will see if we can answer them. Notice I haven't had any super chats today, but don't worry about that. Let's see what we can get to answer. I haven't seen anything, but I've just been glancing. I've probably missed a bunch of stuff. But yeah, so if you've got anything that you want to ask, feel free to crack on and ask it. No, this isn't going to be a regular thing on a Monday Night Live. I haven't got the nerves for it. It's far too stressful. I can't cope.
Do you not find I don't know, I have a calming effect on you?
No, you do not.
Not the slightest, no.
No, because you don't know how to use your computer either. So it's enough to push me over the edge.
It's a fair point. I'm not going to deny it. No, Dean, not those questions, please.
Why the man bun? Just because it's a lockdown haircut, and because I'm high risk, there's no chance of me leaving the house anytime soon. And it's either this or no hair at all. And so for the new channel, I didn't want to approach it with zero hair. Oh, look, Brian. Vapor's Cloud. He's in here. Look. Oh, look at that, look. Here's a super chat. You can Peggy.
Dean's got Ellie, Jenna RTA. Is it any cop? I've never used it. Have you?
Who, what?
The Jenna RTA. Have you ever used it?
Nope, not at all.
There we go.
Blazing Steve-O. Hi, Dean. Have you missed me? Yes, mate. Always.
Mr. Bishop, what's next for MT Essentials? We are actually going to incorporate a little bit of technology in our next mod, whereby it automatically detects if somebody's Welsh over 6 foot and ginger, and basically it won't work. It's Yeah. Anyway,
Will that be the collaboration that you and I are both doing, or is that not that?
no, it's
No.
not that.
Okay, fair enough.
Not that.
Okay.
No.
Toss Reviews, have you ever thought of doing a collab together on a project already? We've thought about it, but we'd argue so much, literally nothing would get done.
Nothing, not a thing. It's a terrible thing when you're, well, no, that's not fair. I'll shut up. Keep talking.
Here's a thing that we've argued on in the past, and I don't know if you're any better for me these days. Brian, thank you so much. Thank you very much, buddy. And I've talked about this with patrons recently, and that is the equalisation of air going in to the air coming out. For instance, a one that I think works really well for this is the Pioneer. Now, if you've got the direct lung kit for the Pioneer, I swear that the thin diddy little drip tip works better than the thicker, more normal 510 with it wide open. Discuss.
But that goes back to the days when I started vaping, was the diameter and the length of a drip tip. It can completely change the vape.
But you can have something feel like it's got a real restriction to it, put a thinner drip tip on it, much smoother, easier vape, less restriction.
What was it? It was Bissardo. Bissardo used to go on about, I'm doing a bit of slipstreaming here.
Yes.
What the fuck?
That was a thing though. Back with the Nautilus Minis, you'd kind of breathe in some of the side of the drip tip and get your fat clouds going before the Atlantis came out. That was what it was all about.
How are you getting on with the Rye RDA? Asks Lynn.
I've done did I do a review or unboxing? I can't remember, but I really like it. I think it's a great RDA. I don't think it's a single coiler though. I think the fact that they say it's a single coiler to go in the middle there, I think is wrong. But as a dual coiler, I think it's a good RDA.
Go. Ian asks, have you got the heavy hitter coming? That sounds like something that I definitely would not have coming.
Absolutely not. Own Comforts, do you still have your 3D printer mark? And was it a Prusa?
Yes, it was. Obviously, I had myself and Dean had the same one at the same time. Which was just
that wasn't a Prusa though, is it? We got that cheapy A8 off GearBest at the same time, because that was one of those discussions where I said, I've just bought this, and you went, fuck, can't let you have it by yourself. And then we sat there and swore about building it for ages.
And then obviously, because I'm all about the high end, I got the real McCoy, and I let it go because basically it took up too much room in here, and I needed the money at the time. So I sold it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I've got an Up Mini 2 ES now, and the extruder is blocked and fucked. So, and it's not that great. Yeah. Neil McCallum, thank you so much. Sorry I'm late, guys. Great to see you on Monday Night Live. Thank you very much. It's just a little Monday Night Live special, just to say hello. How you doing? Hope you're well. Either of you check atomizer issues with the vape shell? I stopped using it because I got irritated. Funnily enough, not the vape shell, but I had issues with the Signature Tips Vaporesso coil bridge, and it turned out that at some point in time, it looks though I'd screwed in my thingamajig at the top a little bit too hard, and I'd pressed down the contact on the bottom, so it was like literally half a hair underneath the thingy, so the positive contact, and so it just wouldn't work, and it was a fucking nightmare. So I had to fix that. Now everything works, but I'm really scared about tightening things up too much now.
Easy way around that is put it all together, 510 adapter, screw it onto a mod and fire it. If you don't get an atomizer check, then it's going to be exactly what Dean just described.
Yeah.
That's the surefire way to test it.
The vape shell as well is a bugger, because while it's got that width there, it doesn't really have the height once you put the top on, does it?
Dean, you have £100. One mod, one tank.
I don't really know what's that. I don't know why I instantly went to grab my breast then. I don't know why that was a thing. But I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know because I think you can get a great vape with pretty much anything, to be honest with you. I think I'd probably go for a mech, maybe. Maybe a mech squonker, but either that or a tube mech like I don't know, like the Dreamer or the VCM.
Yeah.
Or the there's a lot around now that's really, really good. And as far as RDAs and tanks go, I don't really know. There hasn't really been anything new and exciting come out RDA wise, has there? For like little stuff. I know Vapors Cloud have got a couple of really corking RDAs at the moment with the Valhalla and the Temple.
Oh, really? But I mean, are they really special? Because they never gave me £5. So I'm not saying anything nice about them. They can get pumped.
But no, they're nice. They're nice quality things, and big old 21700 Beast Hog now as well, which has got your name all over that. I can imagine you sitting there with a dual power series 21700 monster.
If I had £100, I would spend it on something else and wait for something free to come into review, or I would go on the classifieds and buy something second hand.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was saying earlier on with the old second hand stuff. If you can find old stuff on something like Planet of the Vapes, you go in the classifieds on there. You can often find old gear that people are selling for pennies. So with £100, you could get 2 RDAs, 2 tanks, and a mod. Quite happily, and then some probably.
Yeah. Burn in hell for using the Venturi effect related to vaping.
Okay. What?
That's any I'm going to say this. Any reviewer that starts talking about the Venturi effect and the lift and all this and whatnot in a review should burn in hell. Sorry. I'm really sorry if you do say that, but you should.
No, not something I've had to worry about.
Oh, it's the cyclonic. It's a cyclonic effect.
Yeah, I have had. It's annoyed me greatly for a few years since it kind of kicked off publicly about when a certain RDA got released, about how air comes in. The best testing that I've seen for that is
toilet roll holder.
Huh?
A toilet roll holder and a feather?
It was Twisted Messes, because
Brilliant.
Kent did a really good. He actually made things like proper size, and he made a cap out of like a block of, I don't know, something. And it was, just go and check out on the Twisted Messes channel because it'll be on there somewhere. And that I thought was really interesting. But generally, when people say about air going down and doing this, that, and the other, that really winds me up because that's not really how air works. So there we go. Funkadelic asked, what strength nicotine do I use? 3? You're on 3 as well, aren't you, Mark?
3 for every day, and if mouth to lung, I'm usually on 6.
You're animal. Spaghetti, nice to see you as well. Any of you remember the Envy Artisan RTA? Yes, I think I had one kicking around recently. Mark, what's the best custard, says Mick?
The one that I'm vaping at any given moment in time.
You missed the opportunity to say anything Regency related, you know that.
So, rewind.
Mark, what's the best custard?
Regency. Carmen. Available at all good resellers and stores near you now. There you go.
What have we got going on? What would you like to see made? I'd like to see made more. I want to see nice wood. I want ergonomic, and I want 21700 with a DNA 60. Single battery, nice comfortable wood, maybe an exposed battery tube, and DNA 60. That's what I want to see, but a nice, lovely shape. None of this fucking unicorn puke coloured nonsense. Just wood. I'd like to. I tell you what, I haven't seen a mod made of flamed maple, and that was a big thing for guitars. Now I've got back into guitars again. I'm kind of all over that nonsense, but I haven't seen any nice flamed maple top mods. I think that would be sweet.
Yeah.
So there we go. So if any company wants to make an exposed battery tube DNA 60 21700 with flame maple top, then let me know. Is there anything that you'd like to see get made?
I'm quite simple. I actually really like. I've never had an issue with mods that have come out over the years and whatnot. I love some of the mods I've got in the house, and I think there's a lot of good mods that a lot of the smaller mod makers are making. I think the difference is now that a lot of the bigger companies are actually making really good mods as well. And it's kind of changed. It's all changed up a bit. It's like that mod I bought today. God, I love the look of that thing. Can't remember what it's called. KLS? Was it KLS?
Might be. I might have blocked out because I haven't got one, so I probably got upset about it.
But that's only 50 quid, but it looks really ergonomic and comfortable, and you've got Ambition mods, the Hera coming and things like that. There's just, I actually quite like where the market is just now.
Yeah.
I know people get upset about the pod stuff and whatnot. I don't. I have no issue with the pods at all. From a hobbyist point of view, then yeah, maybe, but for taking in what vaping is for is to get people off cigarettes. I think pods are brilliant.
But I mean, even that has got more popular because there are so many even hobbyists now that will take they'll take something like this down to the pub and just have a toot around on that and save their nice stuff for at home. Or they don't need a dual battery fog machine, so they'll just take a little set. Things like the .aio. I mean, that's not strictly a pod, but being a little form factor all in one, that sort of thing has got stupidly popular.
Yeah.
With everybody, not just the more affordable scene, which would normally sort of apply with dot mod, but it's kind of attracted everybody. So I think there's a thing for them, but there is way too many of them. The biggest problem is if there isn't a rebuildable section, then if they're using coils that their own kind of proprietary coils, vape shops cannot stock all the coils for all the mods. It just all the pods. It just doesn't work that way. And so I would make a pod if it meant that I could put any coil I wanted in within reason. Do you know what I mean? If it had little adapter things in it, so you could make it accessible to everybody, and you could throw it out for like 30 quid. I think that would be something that's worth doing, but that's not something on the cards.
Yeah. Do you know what we really need?
What?
Side-by-side pod system. There's probably such a thing already, but it's the only thing I haven't seen as a side-by-side. But anyway, I'll shut up. But going by, if you want to get technical, then yes, it is, I suppose. Jim Old would like a noisy cricket with 3 batteries.
Triple series. That's German. That's German territory right there. Triple series mechanical.
Yeah, he's from Carnoustie. He's a strange lad, though.
Honestly, if you want a hard hit, the Stormbreaker, the Vapors Cloud Stormbreaker that I've got is parallel, but because you've got 21700s split around all 3 batteries, your amperage is split around all 3. That really kick you in the bollocks. It will really, really be a hard, angry vape. And the Hog, again, same thing. And that's the great thing with the 21700s. You can get a series 21700 or even a dual parallel, and they'll knock your socks off. We didn't have that sort of stuff. That was, 26 650s were the thing for the big mods, but they were funky, but they weren't mega hard hitting, were they?
Sorry, I'm over 50. I don't use the term hard hitting. You're
a bell end. Thank you very much for doing some mod work there, Todd. I didn't see what it was, so thank you very much.
He called you names. He said you were really, really boring and he didn't like your top knot. So I immediately banned him from the channel.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Can't argue with him, but fair enough.
That's not what he said.
Todd, have you seen the Method Mods Ultim top cap for the rad for vaping? What?
Method Mods. He's actually got excuse me. So there's an engraved bottom cap that goes with it as well.
All right.
Matchy. But he's also got an Ultim top cap with the exact same engraving for a specific RDA, which I can't remember what it is. But he's sending it on. I just don't have the RDA.
What else we got? Tiny Squonks with a DNA 60 or 75. That think about the design to make it good looking. Yes, Steve, absolutely. But that was, what's that little tiny? That's not the EPT, is it? That I'm thinking of. See, the EPT isn't Squonker, is it? Oh, the little fucking thing. You know, where is it?
Sorry, I've just got repeat going through my head now.
What's that little tiny flaps? There's a little tiny mod. Viv, are you still in chat? What is it? A little tiny dinky little squonker that is fantastic. Oh, here we go. The Hot Sig RSQ.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
That's some Cuz Steve's leather work on the front of that as well, which is lovely. But this was a fantastic, it's RSQ and rig, and they got together to make this little squonker, and it's still a fantastic little squonker. Brilliant stuff. And I thought this was kind of the way, because when this came out, it was a case that it was all about the little mechs. Where isn't it? Oh, the batteries come out. I've got a load of, not the battery, magnet. I've got a load of mods. Turns out that with age, the glue in the magnets just falls out. Anyway, yeah, we need more of that nonsense. I think little stuff. RSQ.
I'm not. Michael's asked a question. I've best RDA to get the same vape from a Drag S pod at 20 watts. Never used a Drag S pod. I don't know what the airflow is like, but yeah, 20 watts. Jesus, well, it's going to be 22 mil anyway. Single coiler.
I'll tell you another one that I really fucking like. When I don't want to do and this is, I think, a horribly underrated thing as well. The Rattel XS from whoever it was, Mech Life. This, I mean, aside from the carbon fibre nonsense, this is a really nice restricted direct lung kind of like integrated tank thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a brilliant little mod. Again, magnets come out. But that's absolutely superb. Todd's reviews. Thoughts on the current version of the Bantam box versus Billet box?
Bantam box is SXK, isn't it?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it is. If it's SXK, then
Wouldn't know.
Don't go near it. Don't go near it. Just because of their affiliation with clones, so I don't bother with the company at all. Yeah. Sorry.
I got beard hair or dog hair. I don't know which it is. Everywhere. Hot Sig, RSQ, Viv's got 6 of them. There we go. Agree, RSQs are cracking, more like it needed. If possible, next week would be great. Not going to happen, Dean, I'm afraid. Maybe boards need to shrink first. That's why the DNA 60 was so popular and still is, because it's got a really small form factor.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size of that.
Put an 18650 battery up for it for because putting your hand next to it is like putting a fucking, I don't know, raindrop next to a shovel. There we go.
I mean, that like you say, that's why the DNA 60 is so good.
Yeah, there we go. Favourite day today setup is the mix mod with the Precisio, best restricted direct lung I've tried. Precisio is great. I did have, it was going to be, my review of the Precisio was going to be out tonight, but I had a bit of an issue, which I'm pretty sure is user error. So I've got to work through that because I'm not going to throw out a video on something that I don't know enough about and give you my honest opinion on it until I know exactly what's going on with it. But yeah, I've been using my Precisio. On my mix, it's either been the Precisio or the GT, depending on how lazy I'm feeling. But that's absolutely the way it's been going. We've got the Wicket. The Wicket. Now that you've got a few Wickets, I believe.
I'm doing a charity raffle just now.
Okay.
What's my channel called? Todd's something or other reviews channel, where you can win. You can win. Actually, I should have done a comparison there. I'm actually curious. I mean, there's a Wicket, a DNA 60. Well, they're the same size. Ooh.
Wicket's smaller. Only slightly.
Just slightly, yeah. Actually, I don't know if this. I put this up for a raffle prize, and I don't even know if it's a DNA. I could take the. No, I'll put a battery in it. That's easier. I was going to say I'll take the front plate off, but I'll just end up losing buttons and stuff like that.
Have you taken a Wicket apart? Because Dejan's got a new designed 510 in there to enable him to make it really small, hasn't he? Has he? He has.
Yes, thank you for watching the review where I took it to bits. And yeah,
I don't really watch you, I'm afraid.
You're just a cock, you know that.
I would feel bad if I thought for 1 minute that you watched mine and I didn't have to remind you that I've just put a video
Mark,
up.
I'm really needing to get my views up. Come on and do a Monday Night Live with me. No bother, Dean. I'm your mate. I'm your mate. I'll do anything for you, pal.
Shut up. I'm cool and hip.
It's a DNA 60 if you're in the charity raffle.
What else do you win if you win the charity raffle?
You win an Integra RTA.
A car? You get a car? Shitty balls. That's impressive.
And you also you could win Dicodes, Danny 32.5. Can't get it out the bag, and a Vapor Giant 32.5mm RTA to go with it.
A 32.5 millimeters.
Leave me alone. I'm tired now. I'm getting grumpy. We've just gone over £2,000. So if there's anybody here that's actually entered, thank you so much. Because that's, by the time that £2,000 is a lot of money, but once it gets to Bulgaria, the amount of it's for a dog shelter. I don't know if you knew, because obviously you don't watch my videos, prick. That's a lot of money over there. So it'll do a lot of good.
That's fantastic. You've done a hell of a lot for charity this year so far, haven't you, with the group? What's the running total for what you've raised for various charities so far?
This year, that's us at 20 grand now.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's impressive. I don't know any other. I mean, until you get into sort of normal YouTube land, I don't really know anybody, especially in our industry, that does that. I've raised a bit here and there, but certainly nothing close to that sort of number, and so that's definitely to be commended.
Oh no, I keep it all. That's why I live such an extravagant lifestyle in my shed with
a pimp car.
Yeah, my shit car, and yeah, just my life sucks.
But cool. So go across to Todd's channel and try and find the. Have you got a? I don't know if you've thought about this, but have you got a playlist for your charity raffles?
No, because I take the charity raffles down after they've been
drawn.
drawn.
But I mean, if you've got a playlist there, then someone could instantly see whichever one's live at any given time.
I actually thought about, how you can make a featured video on your channel. Yeah. I was going to make that the charity raffle for each month, but that involves thought and effort, and I do none of these things.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Excellent. So good. Right. If there isn't anything else, it's time to stand according to My Apple Watch taunts me regularly because it knows that I can't stand up, but it keeps saying, "Oh, it's time for you to stand up now, son." But if you've got anything else you want to talk about in chat, let us know now because we're going to be finishing up very shortly. So get that question or comments in. Also, seeing as we were talking about Todd's channel, feel free to go across to the Stuff in My Studio channel on YouTube, which is my new one, and go and look at my mechanical keyboards video as to why you may want a mechanical keyboard.
I would just like to point out once again the transition you did earlier on was completely fucking meaningless, but it was really well done.
#pro.
Yeah, that was really well done. I tell you, if you were selling tickets on the Ryanair plane, you know, at the end of the flight, I would have bought them from you. That's how good you are.
Hey, I tell you, once I get in the zone, I'm fucking from there. It takes me an hour and a half to get in the zone. That's the only really out of practice with this live nonsense. I can't do it very often. Right, so I think, and have you got anything that you want to talk about before we fuck off?
No, I would just end up taking the piss out of you for another hour, and vice versa. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry, Michael Knott, he keeps going on about the best RDA. Honestly, mate, you're going to be looking for something 22mm with a really restricted direct lung. We've not used it, so we can't give you any feedback on it because we've never used one ourselves.
No. I mean, I would throw a guess that maybe a D-Pro Mini, because it's cheap, it's restricted, and you can pull it down, and it's got decent flavour.
Yeah.
So, and you can get a lung hit from it as well. Like that.
Just like that.
You probably want to make sure it's squonked. Dean, put a link up for your new channel. Oh, fuck my life. I need to find it. This is where now I'm opening another window on the computer. It could all go horribly, horribly wrong.
I've got it, mate.
Thank you, bud.
There you go.
But yes, that you're a pillock. I hate you so much. Oh, you're a dick.
It'll be in the description for the video.
It will be in the description for the video. But I'm gonna do it now. So screw you. It's but no, it's just a secondary channel that's not got anything to do with vaping. It's going to be not interesting to the majority of you watching, but it is something that interests me. So that's what we're going with. And I swear to God that mechanical keyboards are gonna be something that is, it reminds me very much of vaping's early days, because it's such a niche market at the moment, with infinite customizability, that it's really interesting. If you're geeky and you like digging around with things and you like playing about with stuff, then it's a great thing. So that's one of the things. But I'm going to be doing stuff on lighting and cameras and all sorts of nonsense as well. So a bit of everything. So if you want to see it, that'd be much appreciated. But don't give me any shit over there, please, because I'm not going to put up with it. I'm just going to fucking ban people. I'm going to be like Todd, 100%. It's going to be marvellous.
Ban everybody. Just ban them all.
Right, on that note, I think it's time that we pull it to a close. Thank you so much for coming on, Mr. T. It's been lovely to chat to you again. Thank you to everybody that's watched. Much appreciated. Those of you that have watched, I think, of the hardcores, thank you for the super chat for those people that have done that. That's very kind of you. And yeah, stick with me, and hopefully you'll continue to enjoy the style of video that I'm putting out these days. They take a lot longer to film, they take a lot longer to edit, and they take a lot longer to put together, but I enjoy doing them. I know they're not for everybody because they're not face-up reviews, but hopefully the people that do enjoy them will continue to do so, and I can make things look pretty. So that's nice. Good. Right. On that note,
I'm not doing it. You can get pumped. There's no way. I'm not doing it.
fair enough.
I'm just going to sit here and quietly vape away, so you can. No.
Also, then, if you haven't seen them, please do go and check out my last few videos. The mix was the most recent one, but there is also what could be, it's a dry subject, but it's about series and parallel coils and all that sort of nonsense. I put a lot of time into that because hopefully it'll be helpful from an informational standpoint to help people understand a little bit more about coiling and wires and series and parallel and all that sort of shit. So if you've not seen it, please go and check it out and share it with anybody you feel may benefit from it. That's it. Okay. Come on, we'll do it together. We won't do it fucking, ready? Come on.
I'm not doing it. I trust you as much as I trust myself, which is not at all. So I'm not doing it.
Fair enough. In that case, thank you so much for joining me, or joining us. Anything you want to say before we go?
You're a dick. I was. Thank you for watching. It's a pleasure. Just go. Just cut. Just no.
Righto. We'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching. Good night.